I'm taking the team total. I'm taking first quarter, first half, full game, taking it all. OU all the way. I lost so much money on OU.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free.
Cast starts going, all crazy. And they run through our ass like shit through a tin horn, man.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
What is up, and welcome to a very, very special episode of Not Another CFB Pod. It's the Super Bowl, right? It's the big game, if you will. We've got two guests with us this time. This is the most people we've had in this particular little setup that Beast and I are running these days. First off, I want to give an introduction to our good friend, Coda Capper Beast. He's been killing it with the Beast prop. He's obviously been sharp all season with the NFL. How we doing, buddy?
Dude, we're doing great. We got a couple drinks rolling. We're ready for a big Super Bowl weekend. We got a couple of good boys in the chat or, in the video here with us. So I'm excited. It's going to be a good show. Electric vibes all around, baby.
Electric vibes for the biggest game of the year. Next, I want to introduce, he is the guy with the Coda Capper Sports Gambling Network. It's Coda Capper Pace. Excited to have him on. I think this is your first time on the pod, right?
I think it is, sir. So glad to be here. Excited. I couldn't find a book that offered both teams to lose the game. So still searching for that. But happy to be here nonetheless. It's going to be a great show, gentlemen.
That's like what the 49ers players have been saying all week, right? That was kind of I like that. I like that little drawback. And then I've got one of the most special characters to introduce. This is a guy that's popped up constantly in the Twitter live spaces, giving some good responses, some good memes at the right times. It's Captain Ferdinand. How we doing, buddy?
Hey, happy to be here, fellas. Just ready for the big game. I'm not going to say the SB word because I'm not trying to get sued. Just ready for the big game. A fan of football, so let's get into it.
I love it. Yeah. We gotta keep that. We gotta try to keep that to a minimum. Old Roger Goodell's out there with the magic wand, just searching for people saying the wrong thing. Let's break it down, though. Let's break down the big game. So it's Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. This is the first time where Patrick Mahomes in his career has had to wear a white jersey in the Super Bowl. Pretty interesting. Well, in the playoffs, I mean, it's been the one seed, I guess, every time he's been in. What's that? No, you're good. You're good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. So I'm just saying the game right now, Philadelphia 1.5-point favorites. That switched all the way over from originally, I believe the Chiefs were even 2-point favorites. So this line has moved a little bit, but this is a good line just because that tells you, hopefully we get a good game out of this. Just kind of want to open up the floor. Beast, why don't you start just kind of what you're thinking about this game,
I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit with just some of our stuff talk about last week. I'm excited just because we have a 1.5-point spread in a Super Bowl game. No matter which side you're picking, it's essentially, a pick 'em at this point, and you're going to have a good game. It seems like based on what Vegas's projections are, they think these teams are pretty even. It's a lot nicer when you have a matchup like this where it is down to like a single point or 1.5 versus where some of these spreads sometimes you see in big games are like 4.5, 5.5. Obviously, we don't want a blowout. Like we want a close game. We want something that's going to be fun to watch. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be exactly what Vegas is projecting, which is kind of a coin flip right down to the wire, like a fourth quarter, 5 minutes left in the game, something happens that wins this game, regardless of who you're betting on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to like these kind of games that you can't like going in, like your logic's going to be sound. Both these teams are great. That's how they got here. Both 1 seeds, I should have mentioned, in the playoffs. And then also the only player that's confirmed out right now for the Chiefs is Mecole Hardman, the wide receiver. So even that part, we get fairly healthy rosters coming in. Pace, what do you think about this game?
I'm just excited for, I hate the Eagles, obviously being a Vikings fan. So I'm taking the Chiefs. But if Jalen Hurts takes down Patrick Mahomes, he's the guy, right? He took down Mahomes. And he kind of takes over that kind of crown, right? For kind of the NFL next guy. So I'm excited. Like Beast mentioned, a close spread like that, it should be a very entertaining game. I like the over in the Chiefs. So, just bet the opposite of me and you should do all right. And we should go from there. But again, I like Mahomes better than I like Hurts, and again, that's with my heart, right? I just hate the Eagles, so it should be an entertaining game. I'm excited for it. Again, I think I'm more excited for the props, right? The special props, all that stuff. Like, obviously, we all love football here, but the props is what really makes a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right. We got lots of picks coming with the props and everything. The boys have got a lot loaded up ready. It's going to be fun. We got anywhere from the coin toss to what color dress Rihanna's going to be wearing on stage. So that's going to be fun. I should also mention, the over under of 50 or 50 and a half or 51, depending on where you get it. I'm seeing it at 51 right now, but it's pretty high total, which is a good thing. I love offense. I know my guy Captain does too. What are you thinking about this game?
I don't think the spread is high enough. Or excuse me, the total should be higher in my opinion.
Okay.
To note, I am obviously a Bills fan. Hopefully most of you know that. I know you do, PG, but I'm on a 2-game contract, 1 game left to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of people know 2-game contract, 1 game left. So I'm rocking with the Eagles. I think they should cover with ease. I read the script, so I don't think it's going to be too close. I'm going over and the Eagles. I know that's I don't even want to say it's the general consensus because I've seen everyone is very flip, Chiefs or Eagles. I know you're on the Chiefs, which I don't even want to get into because
Well, that's the purpose of the pod, right? We got to get into it. I am on the Chiefs here, but I think it's gonna be a great game, and really you could talk me into either side. It's just more of a vibe that I'm getting from the Chiefs this week. Watching some of the interviews, the only person's interviews that I've hated is Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it. I don't like that guy. And believe me, I'm a Cowboys fan. You guys know that. So I obviously don't love the Eagles, but dude, something about Juju. I don't like it. It's weird.
I could imagine you doing TikTok dance with the Juju.
Yeah, see, nobody wants to see me dance though. That's the thing. It's maybe he carries me and it's great content. I don't know. Maybe we'll see it someday.
The trio, PG, you, Jackson, and Juju. I mean, that would be insane.
Oh my gosh. That might break the internet.
That's enough to bring an Eagles W. That's enough.
It really is. We gotta nix that vibe. But I love that we have Captain here who's for the Eagles because, as I said, I think you could be on either side and you wouldn't totally be wrong. That's why Beast and I we talked on our preview episode. These are fun to pick because this really shows like who kind of saw that little edge that's out there because maybe there just is a baby edge. I thought like Captain kind of brought up a good point, which is the bets are pretty well split on this game. I think it's like 60% Eagles, 40% Chiefs on the that's on the spread. And then really the money line is almost 50-50 directly. So that's what you want to see. Like you can't be too wrong, but these games are more about the props because it is hard to pick the spread. The NFL, they have it so dialed in. I can't wait to hear the props and the picks. We'll get to that pretty shortly here. Just wanted to say, does anybody, Beast, do you have something else to cover on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll add in. I guess I didn't really give out my bet, on just talking from a spread
fire away, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Chiefs plus 1.5. And you know what? If you're going to be doing that, you're expecting them to win. You might as well take that alternate spread at -3. It's plus 145. Nice little, value for you. If you're somebody that's like me, a big believer in Mahomes, we're getting him as an underdog, probably the best quarterback in the league when he's healthy and really doing his thing. We're getting a Super Bowl MVP as a dog. So, people kind of graze over the fact he was hurt, 2 weeks ago, and he had a cool, calm, collected 326 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's just like ridiculous that that's like a bad game for him. You know what I mean? In that point, but kind of like you said, PG, there's really not a bad bet on that spread or money line. Like Liv Moods kind of broke it down real good. Shout out Liv Moods. I am single. So, hey, shout out Liv Moods. But she said, you're either getting like the breakdown of it right now is most people are like the Eagles are probably the better team, but you're getting the best quarterback when you bet on Mahomes. So you're either betting on the best quarterback or you're betting on the better team. You know what I mean? Like you're getting one of those quarterbacks that's just a game changer. So either way you're going to go, you're going to have a pretty solid bet, but I'm going to go with Chiefs plus 1.5 there.
Yeah,
I like that.
To go off that, I feel like the spread is irrelevant almost because I think they're two good teams. It doesn't matter which way you go. I don't think it's going to be a 2-point game. I mean, obviously maybe Vegas knows something we don't, but
right.
I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather take the better, in my opinion, the better game managing team, which I think is the Eagles. What they did, I know you can say it was the Giants, it was Daniel Jones, but what they did to the Giants where they just hold the ball and they run it out, consistently get a first down for 8-minute drives. Like, no team. I mean, you could argue that Mahomes is a magic man. He can maybe get it done, but that's a difference maker for me. And you could also say on the flip side, you're going against Andy Reid, who can do that right back to you. So, yeah, maybe it is a little bit closer than we think, but I'm going to go with the Eagles, just what I've seen on an eye test all year long.
Yeah. I mean, like we said earlier, you can't be too wrong on this just because these are two great teams, both the 1 seeds, right? I don't know how often that happens. I did want to mention that. Just it's kind of crazy. I don't remember a time when 2-1 seeds. I'm sure it's happened pretty recently, and I'm just not remembering. But anyway, it's pretty impressive to see still, because we always expect that rust a little bit. We did bring up a good point there, which was Mahomes' injury. I haven't heard much about it this week, which tells me, I would say he was like 80% good in that AFC Championship game. So I'd expect now he's probably feeling pretty close to 90-ish%. I've seen a lot of people on his rushing props. Maybe one of you guys are. I don't know. I don't know if I'd take a rushing prop just yet, run out there and take a rushing prop, because who knows what the game script looks like. If they're from behind, they're already a pass happy team, but if they're behind, they're going to have to pass even more than they normally do. So I don't know. Do you, have you seen much on that pace as far as his ankle and everything? Or
yeah, I think it was an article from yesterday. He said it's close to 100%. He won't know until game time, obviously,
Sure.
until the speed of the game and stuff like that. And that Philly defense coming at you, you just never really know. But he was quoted saying he is close to 100%. So I guess we'll see Sunday.
I mean, yeah, we'll take some, we'll believe him.
I actually did see an update on it earlier.
Go for it. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I saw just an update. I did see that original article, but after maybe a couple hours ago, I did see that he got a whole new ankle. So he's ready to go. He's really hyped for the big game. So could be the difference. The big game, new ankle.
So Captain, you're switching to the Chiefs now? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Could be.
No.
New ankle.
He's riding with his boys. I respect that. That. It should be noted, we haven't brought up the Philly defense yet. Probably, is it the best unit in this game? Embrace debate. What do you guys think?
I mean, they're number one in the NFL. They have to be, right? I mean, you would just think. My favorite thing on Twitter is everyone that tweets out. I've saved a couple of tweets, and if Philly wins, I can't wait to tweet this out. But people all season long, I've saved these: defense wins championships, and they're going against the Eagles, who I think obviously has the best defense. So they're taking KC. So if the Eagles do win, I am going to put some people on blast. It should be fun.
Well, I'm rooting for that. Then that'll be fun.
that would at least give us a little scorched earth pace.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I just don't know if people are mentioning. Obviously, when you got two great offenses, two great quarterbacks coming in, you're going to talk about the offense because what people do. I've just been really impressed, especially in this playoff run with the Eagles defense. Now, it should be mentioned. I think the offenses they played probably weren't real good, and especially when you take out the 49ers already, third string quarterback, it's going to be pretty tough. But you still have to give them credit for what they've done, because they allowed 7 points and 7 points, so a total of 14 points so far. But
yeah,
you could argue the Chiefs have been maybe a little more tested in the playoffs with some of the matchups they had. Jacksonville looked pretty darn good, and then obviously Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, what they do. I'm very interested to see. It's going to be weird seeing the Chiefs in white jerseys in the playoffs. I had no idea that hadn't happened yet. Something to watch for.
In theory, the Eagles have it easy, correct? Because they do play the Cowboys twice a year and the Vikings, right? So,
this guy.
I mean, battle tested. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We set ourselves up for that,
we kind of did. Hey, they beat the Lions too, so I'm sitting here.
No.
Hey, they kept it close though. They kept it close.
Yeah, it was a good battle.
I know you're a Lions fan.
Oh yeah. That's
sadly.
Sadly.
You shouldn't say that out loud. That's okay.
right.
Hey,
they were
fan.
better than the Patriots this year. That's something to be celebrated, I feel like.
Absolutely. With all that said, with all that said, let's jump into the props. We've got a bunch of props to break down. I've got a ton here listed. What we'll do is we'll just kind of go around. And if anybody, like, for instance, my first one's going to be on the anthem. So if anyone else has any anthem bets, we can talk about that briefly. But obviously there's not a ton to break down here. They're just fun props for the most part. We've got some player props too, but I thought I'd start anthem over 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Depends on where your book gets it. I actually had a hard time finding this prop. I had to go through 2 different books, but I found it. It was juiced, but I took the over. It's Chris Stapleton, country music, slow songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. Over.
I agree. Great. It's going to be a great national anthem. I think this will be one of the best we've seen in the last couple of years. But I do agree. Country music. He drags out those notes. A little lullaby action. I think it's going to go over for sure. So I like that. What book do you guys have you been using for these props?
I used a Bovada, but mostly Bet Online for my stuff because I'm in a illegal state. So I've got these kind of offshore books. But
yep, for sure.
Yeah. That's what's kind of tricky about it with a lot of these props is for the most part, I was able to find most of mine on like FanDuel and like DraftKings. But for something like the anthem or something like the halftime show, you have to go through like a Bovada or like BetUS or whatever, because the legal sports books don't want to do anything on the halftime show. From what I've seen, at least, I haven't been able to find anything. You have to use these like weird offshore books to do like any halftime show bets or a lot of those kind of like very weird, obscure bets. So, yeah, it is a little funny how you have to kind of search for the best, prop for sure.
Yeah, I had no idea, but it makes sense because we've seen it a couple years where someone's been putting bets in on the anthem and then someone leaks like the practice and they time it and then they know and everybody fires on it. I don't know. So I locked it in early on the over, but we'll see what happens. The floor's open. Beast, if you want to go next with a prop, anything will do. Go for it.
Yeah, I guess we'll kind of get into, I was telling PG, like, are we doing the real props or the, more of the fun props? But we'll go with the more real prop here that I like. I'm going to take Kenneth Gainwell over 4.5 rushing attempts here. He's hit this in every one of his playoff games. I think Nick Sirianni really likes Gainwell. I'm serious. I feel like there's not enough probably hype that gets behind Gainwell because he seems like, he's just their receiving back. He's just their third down back. But they got 14 carries for him last week, 12 carries the week before. I know that some of that was game script, but they were still giving him plenty of carries when the games were actually close too. I think Sirianni actually kind of likes giving it to him, especially on like a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They like to run the ball here and there. We're asking for 5 rushing attempts. That is not that much. I don't think they actually have as much faith in Miles Sanders as a lot of people want to believe. There's something to be said about if Gainwell busts off like a 10-yard run, they're going to give it to him again because it's the hot hand kind of thing. So we're asking for 5 rushing attempts. He could get stuffed at the line every single time, and we're okay with it. 5 rushing attempts, that's all we need, man. That's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to tail that because Beast has been on this Gainwell thing. And last game, I tailed him in the NFC Championship, and it was so easy. Like, no problem. He's getting more and more carries every game, so I like that.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff with his carries, too. I guess that's something to be said, too.
Go ahead, Cap.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say when Kenneth rushes, he does gain well, so I like that pick. I'll go ahead and tail that all day long.
Bars.
That's a good prop. That's a good find for sure. I like that.
That's good. All right, Pace, you got a prop for us?
Yeah, I got. I have a billion props, right? Let's go 2 here off the bat. I am the juice man, so I'm taking the opening kickoff to result in touchback -150. Give me that all day. I think they'll boot it.
That hit last year.
Yeah, that did. Cap with a nice note there as well. So again, a little juicy, but I'm not afraid of the juice. This could have been -500. I'll put $500 on it to win 100. So I'm gonna take that. And then another one, halftime here. I'm gonna go. Rihanna at some point is gonna wear some sunglasses. I just get that vibe. You can get it at plus money. I bet online at plus 120. So again, who knows what's going to happen the night before, things like that. She's going to be wearing sunglasses. That's just the vibe. And getting that at plus money, I'll take that any day.
I like that.
They are.
I wrote down the.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're in a dome, but still, it's warm weather.
Well, sun will be coming in somewhere. Yeah.
I wrote down that I'm adding that opening touchback because I believe Beast, you're on that too, right?
Yeah, no, I'm on that one. So I was super pumped to see the Pace is on that. Yeah, it's -165 on MGM. It's like -160-ish around FanDuel. So I got it on MGM at -165. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's juicy, but like both teams have a 65% or over like touchback percentage. And the other thing is that was more important to me is just think about it. Like if you're that whoever's kicking off, I'm not going to want to let them take it out of the end zone. I'm going to want to put it through. Like, both teams have really good offenses. Why am I going to let you potentially have the chance of, running it out to the 40-yard line or running it out to the 35, whatever? Like, we're just going to give it to you on the 25 and call it a day. Like, that's exactly what the special teams coaches are probably thinking. No, we're not fucking around. We're just going to kick it through the end zone and have a day. Like, that's it. Just kick it through the end zone. Keep it simple, man.
I love that. All right, Cap, you got one for us?
You know what? And this is not a flex in any way. I haven't really looked at the props too hard because I've been really on college basketball. 16-3 in one of my last 20. Not a flex. There you go. But no, I did look a little bit at the Gatorade props. I'm going with blue Gatorade. Blue Gatorade. Okay. I think don't quote me. I think I saw it at like 800, plus 800, something like that.
Probably right.
Fact check me, but it's something like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things with I've got a Gatorade prop as well, and the number you get is going to vary. So if you pick a color out and you just love it, find the best number you can and lock it in, because these are some of the funnest bets. Because even after the game's over, let's say the Chiefs win and Captain's really sad because his bet lost. Well, he can wait for this Gatorade, and if it's the right color, then he's a big winner, man.
Yeah, I believe the last 3 years were orange, white, and blue. I don't know the order, but sorry.
I think somebody said that.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
So, no, you're good. I was going to say, because I also have a Gatorade prop, because you've got to, right? It's the Super Bowl. I'm going clear at plus 1,200. And my thought is pretty simple. I said this a little bit on the Gambling Feud podcast, but basically, I'm thinking the game's going to be really close. The teams aren't going to have a lot of time to okay, here's the one we're going to pour on the coach. I'm thinking it's like a last-second thing. They're running down the field, catch up to coach, throw it. It happens to be the water one, or there's even some Gatorades that are a little bit clear. So we'll see how the books grade it, but I'm just hoping it's a clear Gatorade. I think it's good value at plus 1,200.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a push if it was just water? You'd lose.
No, it's.
Are you talking like a
the color of the liquid? It's not technically. Yep. I said the word Gatorade. I think the way they say is what color of liquid or something. Yep. Yeah, so I'm going clear. That's all. I'm going clear. Plus 1,200.
That's good analysis, PG. I like that.
That's as good as you can get for some of these. I mean,
absolutely.
Really, they're fun though.
Yeah, there's no chance you're going to be able to guess it. I think there was 2 years within the last 15 years too where they didn't toss a Gatorade.
Yeah.
One of them was the Patriots, and then one of them was when the Ravens won it in 2013, where they didn't do a Gatorade on John Harbaugh that year. So it's that's a potential too. Anything can happen.
Especially if it's a last-second game winner. You may just not have time to, or maybe it happens really late and they just wash it. So these are fun. These are fun props.
They get a walk-off field goal. Their first thoughts. All right, where's the Gatorade at? No, they're going
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it takes two guys to do it, so you got to get a teammate to help you. And you don't want to be the scrubs off the bench. You don't want to be the backup holder and the punter. You don't want to take over the spotlight like that. So who knows? But these are fun props. That's why we do it. For sure. I've got a real prop that I'm going to go with real quick though. Well, real as it gets, I guess. I'm going to go Mahomes over in passing yards. I saw it at 296.5. I think if the news is true that he is healthy, now he is missing McCole Hardman, but he's still got Travis Kelce. He's still got Pacheco in the backfield. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to play a little bit, I think, this game, which is interesting. So maybe we'll talk about that later more. But again, Mahomes was hurt last game, went way over this number. Eagles defense is very good. And I think if they're going to win, they're going to have to throw the ball. And maybe just either way, just to stay in the game. I don't think they're going to run the ball very effectively. They're not a great run team anyway. Going to have to throw the ball. You're betting on one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now, maybe the best. So I'll go with Patty Mahomes over. There you go. Whoever wants to throw a prop in, the floor is open.
Yeah, no, I can jump in there. I mean, kind of a fun one that I like. If we're kind of it's a real prop too. Don't worry, but
I know I don't know why I used that word. It kind of made it. Yeah.
No, I got you. But I'm gonna take. It's weird how the wording of it is, but I get it because they're not sure if Sipas is going to play. But it's Philadelphia Eagles longest punt over 50.5 yards.
Okay,
it's minus 115 on MGM. So it's basically whichever one of their punters go. It's either Brett Kern, who's the veteran that they just signed. But it's most likely because every report is saying that Aaron Sipas, the Australian legend, former Australian Football League player, the good old Aussie, he's hit this in 7 of 12 games this year. I've listened to a couple of interviews of this guy. He's an absolute legend. He's just he just is your prototypical Australian guy. He gets on there, man. He's just like, yeah, mate, I get on there and I just kick the football around, man. Throw a couple shrimp on the barbie, skull a couple beers, like he's just the fucking prototypical Australian. I love this guy. Aaron Sipas is going to kick this for us. Over 50.5 yards. He's hit this in 7 of 12 games. He can boot the ball, man. Like, shout out Pat McAfee for the brand. Like, this is the classic. Bet on your punters. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, whether it's him or Kern, but I don't think it's going to be Kern. I think they could kick a 55-yard punt out there, just boom it. We love it. Who wouldn't want to root for a punt in the Super Bowl, man? That's a fun one to be rooting for.
Well, this is one of those things. If you got TD props or whatever, at least this way you still have something else. Like even on the special teams plays, just roll down the field, keep going. That stuff's fun. I may have to tell you.
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. I think so too.
I got a devil's advocate on that. I don't know if the Eagles are going to even punt the ball the whole game.
You think they're just going to score so much? I will say that's the tough thing is if you're somebody that thinks it's going to be super high scoring, like an over, it could be on the opposite. But I think there'll be at least a couple punts. Let's just say we get like 2-3 punts out of him. He might be able to boom one. I got trust in my guy here.
I like it. Good analysis.
All right.
Good analysis. Fair. Go for it, Pace.
Yeah, so the cross sport, that's kind of my favorite stuff, and I'm going to go with that there'll be more goals on Sunday in the NHL than first half total points at -115. So I'm hoping for a lower scoring first half here and a lot of goals in the NHL there on Sunday. And then another one, kind of a real-ish one, I'm going to go Philadelphia over 1.5 field goals at -132.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, both teams have good special teams. There's nothing wrong with taking some of those. I like some of these props you guys have come up with. I've got to bring in one, I think, here. My prop is first coach's challenge to be overturned. This is a coach's challenge, -140. So basically, my theory on this is, and it's not a lot, but obviously the Super Bowl, we're going to have more cameras. We're going to have more camera angles. So whenever the coaches go to make a challenge, they're going to be a little bit more sure than normal that they've got the right call. This doesn't count the automatic, the official reviews that happen on a scoring play or inside 2 minutes. This is strictly the red flag challenges. Andy Reid's a great coach. I like what I've seen so far from Nick Sirianni as well. He's a smart guy. There's a little juice on this, -140, but I think the first coach's challenge will be overturned, -140. There you go.
Okay. I like it.
That's a fun one just because you could be sitting there and you're just watching this, challenge.
That's
and you're like, dude. Yeah, you're like, dude, I need this challenge bad, like to be over.
It'd be an interesting thing to cheer for, if nothing else. That's kind of why I'm on it. I think it's kind of fun. Okay, so let's keep going. I'll do another one here because this one's kind of fun too. There's not much to this. My theory's been that this is going to be a close game. So I bet that there will be an onside kick attempt in this game +300.
Ooh.
Again, if it's close, who knows? It just needs to be an attempt. You could even get that sneaky like the Saints did coming into the second half, kick a little onside kick. You feel like maybe you can get one over. Anything like that, I'm good to go. +300.
And then they make a movie about you.
And then they put me on the team is going to fly into Oklahoma, put me on their shoulders. This is the guy that took the onside kick bet. It's going to be in a movies. It's going to be awesome.
They could do that. That would be like Rudy, best football movie since Rudy.
Go ahead, Cap.
I do have a question just to backpedal 1 second about your last point that you made. Are you anti-Gene Steratore?
I like.
You have no
Gene.
faith in my guy Gene, or like, what's your deal? What's the
I like Gene.
Let's clear the air. What's the beef with Gene?
But my beef is I think he can be bought. You know what I'm saying? He works for the league at the end of the day. He's trying to make these officials look good.
No way.
Which leads
got
me
some
into
insider information there.
Yes, I've got one more play on this, and then I'll let someone else go. It just reminded me. I'm taking under 10 penalties in this game at +105. Reason being, the officials have been a big part of the discussion so far in the playoffs this year. I think they want to avoid the spotlight. The less flags, the better. Under 10 penalties, plus 105. That's what I got. I don't know what the history is. I could be taking a ridiculously low number, but it feels like a good number. So we'll see.
It's going to be a laundromat out there, bro. There's going to be laundry
like
all
that
over the
meme
field.
that they show, that meme where they photoshopped
Yeah.
like 10 flags in the background of that referee talking. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
That's what it's going to be. The floor is open, though. Anybody got props for us?
Yeah.
Beast, what you got?
Yeah. No, I'll go. I got this is another one of those ones that, once again, I like this running back because he's picked it up so much. I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5 rushing yards, minus 115. This kid just runs so hard. I mean, there's not many guys you see get the ball in their hands, and they just look like they are trying to run through a brick wall, and they haven't even hit a guy yet. Like, they're just busting through. I mean, he's like just getting the ball, and he looks like he's ready to do like a 100-yard sprint like he's Usain Bolt. I mean, and he's really picked it up down the stretch. I mean, he's been getting enough carries. He's hit this in 9 of the last 11 games. I know the Philadelphia Eagles have a really good defensive line, but Andy Reid wants to give him the ball. He just keeps feeding him more and more. I think he sees about 12 to 14 carries, right around that. And I think he gets enough, yards here or enough carries here that 47.5 rushing yards is not that much. We're asking for just 50 yards. If he's averaging like 3.5, to 4 yards a carry, let's just say 4 yards a carry, he's going to hit this, at 12 carries, whatever. He'll hit that 48 yards. So it's not much yards, and at only 47.5. Pacheco is suddenly kind of become like the budding star in that Kansas City backfield. I think Andy Reid likes him enough, and the fact he's hit it out of 9 of the last 11, that's a good sign too. So he's going to run hard. I think he's gonna.
That the 9-11 number scares me a little bit. That's just kind of a tough one. But it's
kind of bad vibes.
If you roll it into a percentage, though, which is what you should have done, that probably would be a better number. But my only little thing was that, and then also that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to play in this one. I don't think he's going to play much. And if you look into the numbers, that's kind of I feel like what the case is going to be, because he's not predicted to get a lot. And but he is playing. But again, Pacheco runs hard. I've got a Pacheco bet too. I've got him to score the first touchdown at plus 800. Nice. And you guys know me on the first touchdown stuff. I like to take one for each team, so we still have something to cheer for, even if it's the Eagles in this case driving down the field. And so I'm going to take Devontae Smith first touchdown at plus 1,200. But again, these numbers vary a lot. But
that was my pick too.
Okay, bang! I took one of Captain's, but he's been great in the playoffs, so I love it.
All right, Captain, we got to follow him up. Give a couple reasons here. You're liking Devontae Smith. I like it.
Dude, I just think that AJ Brown is your more physical wide receiver. I think Smith is just that. They're both quick, don't get me wrong, but I think he gets those quick passes, can create some space. He's a really good red zone threat, but he can also be that vertical guy as well. So he's very multidimensional, and I like him the most on the offense of the Eagles. So I don't know. I think it's either going to be Jalen Hurts or Smith, so could go either way.
Yeah, I like it. Pace, you got some for us?
Yeah, I kind of staying on the MVP, stuff like that. I'm going to take the position of MVP to be a running back at plus 1,200. Not going to throw a lot on it, but I think that's the values there. The Chiefs got some good running backs. Obviously, the Eagles have some good running backs and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's going to be Mahomes or Hurts, but the value at plus 1,200, $25. Who knows if Pacheco gets in a couple times, boom, and the Chiefs win. I can see him winning it, or Sanders on the other side as well, or Gainwell, like Beast likes as well. So you never know.
Yeah.
The other thing with that pace is I like that just because all those guys you mentioned, can catch the ball a little bit too.
Exactly.
So it's not just running the ball; they could have some little dump off, touchdown type screen runs too.
Yep. Pacheco gets one in and catches one, boom. Who knows what happens.
And the Super Bowl MVP has been interesting because it's not like it is in college where like it's always the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have a defensive player win this thing. So I like running backs there. You got good ones on both sides. So that's a good number. I like that. Beast, you got a couple for us?
Yeah, we'll follow up with the MVP thing.
All right.
I don't want to do it just because it really is chalky. But if you're gonna bet the Chiefs, you might as well take Mahomes to win Super Bowl MVP at plus 130. It's a really good line. It kind of reminds me a couple years ago when it was, the Bucks and Chiefs playing, and I was on the Bucks, and it was like, if you're gonna bet the Bucks, you might as well bet Tom Brady to win MVP. It was like plus 150 or plus 160 that year. And it was the same kind of situation. It's like, if the Chiefs win this game, to me, it's going to be Mahomes. I don't see a situation. Let's just say Travis Kelce catches 2 touchdowns, and he's kind of threatening that. Mahomes probably had 2 or 3 passing touchdowns himself and over 300 yards, and he doesn't really turn the ball over a ton, so he's probably going to get it over Kelce, even though Kelce had a pretty good game. I tried to talk myself into Kelce at like plus 1,200, but since 2010, 9 of the 13 Super Bowl MVPs have been a quarterback. So
okay. That's more than I would have thought.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I know you were kind of mentioning, like a lot of times, it's not as big of a quarterback. Recently, it kind of has been. And I think there is going to be we say it's the media that votes on this. Yeah. I think there's going to be kind of the aspect, or at least the spin zone of, man, Patrick Mahomes had this really bad ankle injury. He willed himself to win in the AFC Championship. And then he goes into this game and he gets it done on a bad ankle. Even though his ankle probably is actually not that bad now, they're going to act like it was really bad all week or something. So I don't know. If the Chiefs win this game, I just don't see how he doesn't win it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that's almost like that's how media loves to vote. Sometimes they just give like almost career awards out, you know what I mean? Yeah. And this would be like a playoff run instead of a single game. So I like that. I actually have a bet along the same lines, which is the Chiefs to win plus Mahomes to have 3 passing touchdowns plus 290.
Ooh,
I'm already on the Chiefs, obviously. Yeah. And if I think that Mahomes is going to have a big game, that all kind of lines up. You can get that at a parlay. Money. Yeah, plus 290.
If you're gonna go Chiefs, I guess you've got to just double.
You got to go all in, baby.
Like,
mostly because the Eagles fans will be mean to me either way. So
fair.
Eagles fans are ruthless, but they're the best.
They're very passionate.
I'm gonna go with ATDS for you, Boston Scott. Keep that ground and pound game running. Keep it rolling. You talked about Gainwell. We talked a little bit about Sanders, but the unforgotten hero on the Eagles offense in that running group, Boston Scott, especially in the red zone. And he can rip it for 8-10 yards a carry if he wants to. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it should be mentioned our good friend Squilly Wonka, who couldn't be on this episode. The one pick he did give me was a Boston Scott touchdown in this game. He said book it, PG. So that's good. We got a little shout out for our guy Boston Scott. It's a deep room. So I've just got one more prop, and then I'll let the other guys fire away. But I saw this and I really like it, and I'm excited about it. Penalty for roughing the passer in this game, plus 160. I think there will be one. Mm-hmm. You got a couple reasons why. Number one, both quarterbacks are banged up, and I'm doing air quotes. I know people that are listening can't really see that, but I think the refs are going to protect the quarterbacks a little bit. It's also a great way. Let's say Jalen Hurts throws a deep route. It goes incomplete, but he took a late hit, and the refs need, some points there late to kind of keep the game interesting. Bam, roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, first down. It's a bailout call for the referees a lot of times. And you got guys like Mahomes who love to just flop and throw his arms up and roll around on the ground. Plus 160 seemed like a good number to get that at. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like that too, PG, too, because yeah, absolutely. Because too, I think some coaches too are like, hey, go hit the quarterback. Let's go hit the quarterback.
Just to hit him.
Just to hit him. Yeah, it's a Super Bowl. Let's rough him up a little bit. Bounty gate, I'm very familiar with that. I'm not saying this will happen, but heck, you might as well brush up on him. 15 yards, heck, what's 15 yards? We'll get it back on the defensive end. So I like that.
Plus 160. It's a pretty good number. Of course, that varies based on your book again, but good numbers.
Someone actually texted that in our group chat this morning, and I was like, well, that seems a little bit off. That seems like too easy. A little bit. It's one of those where it's like it's almost too free. It's a little suspicious, but I like that.
It's a good number,
Yeah. No, so if we're going to kind of just keep doing some of these props, I kind of want to give away one of my more fun props. This is probably the most silly prop. And that's going to be the halftime show first song. Because I know PG, I think, has one in there too. Something about,
Yes.
he was saying something about like the dress color. I'm gonna go the first song odds. This is one of those kind of markets that I have no idea which odds to believe because we got all different odds on everything. And 2 days ago, I was talking about this prop, and it feels like it was at a completely different number. So I'm gonna just give it out. I don't know, whatever number you get it at. We're gonna take Rihanna's first song at halftime to be Diamonds. I'm going to pitch this to you guys. Just think that we start this halftime show off. It's pitch black in the stadium, and the speakers suddenly just kind of echo in, just full blast, shine bright like a diamond. And then we get the spotlight on Rihanna real quick. And she's got like dripped out icy diamonds all over her.
And sunglasses.
Sunglasses on, everything. She's got diamond necklace, diamond probably dress, who knows? She's just shining bright like a diamond, and it kind of has to do with like players are shining bright on the field. We're shining bright at halftime show. And that song kind of, once it drops in with the shine bright like a diamond, it picks up real quick. I could see that being like the good opener for the halftime show because it's like, hey, we're about to kind of shine bright on a national perspective. I don't know. It was plus 600 a couple days ago. I'm seeing plus 800. I'm seeing plus 1,200. Whatever you get it at, if you can. I think it's kind of a fun one because, like, I think the other two songs that are ahead of it are, obviously Don't Stop the Music's a big one. And then I saw Bitch Better Have My Money is like a big one too.
Yeah. That's like a favorite, I think.
I think so. Like, who knows? It's moved so much, but we're gonna still roll with Diamonds because we're having a little bit of fun. It's a tiny little prop, have a little fun.
Yeah, have a little fun with it.
Yeah, I'll go off that.
I'm rocking with SOS.
SOS, okay.
SOS, please.
Plus 2,500. I'm seeing there.
There you
That's
go.
Not bad. Beast, kind of on the same line as you, kind of that same thinking. I'm going with this is what you came for at plus 1,300.
Yeah.
Just because, like, hey, y'all came. It's the Super Bowl, but you came for me. So kind of that same kind of thinking as Beast with the diamonds and shining bright like that. So kind of reading into the song titles a little bit. That's what I'm going at.
I think I was talking to the group chat about that one. I think that could be a sneaky one just because it's an older song. It's not one of her newer songs, but usually when these artists come in and do halftime shows, they kind of play the hits, so to speak. She's not going to play her newest album. She may play a song off of it, but it's a lot of stuff that people know. You know what I mean? So I like that.
Yeah. Shout out our
Do you
guy
think we'll
Kyle.
get an appearance from ASAP Rocky?
Ooh.
That would be big.
What song does she have with him? Do you know?
They're just together. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a song together.
He's got to be baby daddy, right? Yeah, I think so.
Well, they'll at least show him on
so.
the screen. They'll probably at least show him on the screen or something. So I have a halftime prop as well. It's very specific because I only saw this on Bet Online. So for people out there with one of those accounts, this says what will happen first on stage. I'm taking pyrotechnics minus 105, but the other options are umbrella used as a prop. Okay. Maybe it could be like a corny umbrella thing. Football used as a prop. I mean, maybe, but I don't see it. Shown wearing a bathing suit. I don't see that one happening. A cover song. Don't really see that one happening. And a wardrobe malfunction, which I think those are things of the past. So pyrotechnics is minus 105. So it's a little bit slightly favorites, but I just see them doing some big, like, when beasts shine bright like a diamond. And then like when the beat drops, maybe the sparklers go minus 105. So halftime props are electric. So I'm all for all these.
What is the odds on the umbrella?
It's the second favorite at plus 250.
I feel like there's gonna be an umbrella, dude.
At some point, but it's
especially with the song Umbrella. Like,
no, I'm saying, but it says what will happen first.
Oh, well, that's got to be one of like her first three songs. Like, I was kind of trying to shout out Kyle. Kyle thinks it's gonna be the first song, and I could see where it would be. Like, it was kind of the song that got her like big. Like, she had a couple songs, whatever, before that, but that was the song that I remember that summer that came out. It was just like. It was always on. It is a banger.
It depends on how they start. Because if they want to start with a bit more of a mellow vibe with just like good song, because that's not exactly the most like hard hitting, like fast song.
Yeah.
So that's why I like, Captain said SOS. That's kind of a faster song. Beast's Diamonds. That's a little bit more of a hype song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll see. These are fun. I like them.
I'm mostly excited for like the memes and the tweets and all the crazy
The stuff that comes
commercials.
with it.
It's the best time ever, man. It's one of the best sports events of the year. Obviously, it's the big game, so you never know what's going to happen.
That's right, the big game. You boys got any other props? I'm all out.
I got two more. Cap, go
ahead, Pace. No, I insist. I'm a man of my word. You Pace, you go ahead.
All right, I got two more. Will there be overtime? Plus 800. I bet at every single Super Bowl. Cheer for extra football, right? And such a close line. Who knows what'll happen here? So plus 800, $25. Hey, what the hell?
That's
and then
a great
I'm going,
number.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I got that on Bovada as well. And Doritos over M&Ms for the first commercial, like not first commercial, but I think Doritos played over of the two. There we go. Yep. Again, juicy, but I love the juice minus 165, but I'm going with that. So
and Doritos love them some Super Bowl ads.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's the people we're gonna see because they always do the one every year where it's like, I don't know if they let like a fan create a commercial for them. They do like that every year, like where they show like a fan made commercial. So
yeah.
I
don't know. It's a lot of juice, but heck, let's roll with that. So those are my final ones.
Juice man.
Could be the difference.
Yeah.
All right, Cap, let's hear it.
I went to bring this up earlier. It's a player prop, and not in a good way. I'm going Mahomes over interceptions.
Oh, okay. He's gonna have a lot of passes.
Here's why.
I'm assuming 0.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's gonna be a close game. There's gonna be a lot of errors, I think, on both sides of the ball. You're gonna get juiced up. It's a big game. And so a lot of things can come with that, good or bad. And I think there's going to be at least one turnover on his end. He does have a lot of good, but I think he does make up for that with some sloppy turnovers.
If you're going to throw the ball as much as they do,
I think I'm a little bit lagging behind here.
Yeah, but you're good. We heard most of that. All I was going to add is just as many pass attempts as they have. That's probably not a bad thing. You know what I mean? They're going to air the ball out. So take your shot at an interception. Yeah. I think they said he's had an interception in his other Super Bowl attempts. I don't think he's had a game in the Super Bowl where he hasn't had an interception. I'm pretty sure that's right, but I'm sure some Chiefs fan is punching their monitor right now. I'm pretty sure that's right though.
Yeah.
Beast, you got any left?
Yeah, I got two more, but they're quick hitters.
All right.
So we're going to start off we're taking heads on the coin flip. I know we kind of mentioned it a little bit on the show, but we didn't really go too into it. There's not much breakdown other than just, it's hit 4 out of the last 5. And who doesn't love head? We all love head, so we're rooting for head.
I almost forgot this bet.
Yep. Yeah, dude. We're rooting for head on this podcast. We're a pro head podcast.
Clip that.
Shout out. Yeah, shout out head. We're taking heads on the coin flip here. But the next one I'm going to take here is both teams to make a 33-plus yard field goal on FanDuel. I'm going to take yes at minus 102. I just think there's some good value there. Butker obviously is a pretty good kicker. He's hit this in both playoff games. He's had 33 or more yard field goals. Elliott has not, but I think that kind of makes him due. And if you're somebody that believes in this over, you probably believe there's going to be a couple field goals in this game. And to ask for just a 33-yard field goal, it's not that much. I think we get 35, 40, and I'm confident both these kickers could hit that. So we're going to take yes at minus 102. There's some good value there. It's pretty much even.
I should have also mentioned, I was on this too. This is me and Beast's big thing. Heads. Tails is the public play. I've been saying that. They want you to take tails. You're supposed to take heads. I got it at minus 101, which is awesome. Usually the books screw you and give you like minus 120 on both or something stupid. So I was happy to see this at a good number. But heads is the sharp play. Love it.
Love that. And this is when you can brag to your friends too. If you win, like boom,
yes.
Sucker, you took tails, I took heads, like
right
sucker.
off the jump too. Yep. That's like the first bet that other than the national anthem, that's like the first bet.
Yep.
Love it. You got any left for us, Pace?
As a Bills fan, I'm off this bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
It's
coin
tough.
flips for you.
There's a potential chance though that we hit heads on the coin flip and then we hit the opening kickoff touchback. Just bang, bang, real quick. Start the
that
day
would
off.
be nice.
Yep.
Imagine how insufferable me and Pace are going to be if we hit both those. Just sitting at the Super Bowl party, like, yeah, I just hit 2 bets in a row. We're not even like 2 minutes into the game.
And the anthem. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be rolling.
It's like, bro, the game hasn't even started yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What do you got, Pace? You got anything left?
I don't have anything left. I think that's
Nice.
what I have. And again, I'm excited. The props is what makes Super Bowl. Obviously, the food, the drinks, being with your friends, being with your family, all that stuff. The game's going to be great. But these props, man. And I'm just excited. Like, I wish I could take a screenshot and damn near shit on Bovada of like, here's the props we have this year. And like 15 years down the road, like, the other props that we get, like there's going to be stuff from anything and everything, who's going to be in the crowd, stuff like that, just with betting getting bigger and bigger each year. So the props, man, my favorite part of it.
Nice. Well, Captain, do you have any props left? You out? You got some for us?
I actually did. This is like a really off book. I had to really search for this one. It's PG to post a Super Bowl stance photo on Twitter. It's plus 2,400. I locked that in. I said,
that's cashing.
So I
can almost guarantee you that's going to cash because I'm going to be in rare form. We're going to be having some people over at the house and some drinks will be flowing. I'm sure it'll be must see stuff on the Twitter machine, as they say. we're going to wrap up the show here, I guess. So I just wanted to give Pace and Captain an opportunity to kind of plug what they're up to. 2 busy guys in the game doing a lot for the industry. So let's start with Pace. Just kind of give a shout out to your Twitter account and any of the little stuff. I know you've been doing some women's college basketball betting and stuff like that. So give it shout it out.
Yeah, for sure. You can follow me on Twitter at Coda Capper Pace. Obviously follow Coda Cappers as well. Been doing a lot of women's basketball stuff. I think we're like 105 and 72 this year. So we're up like 30 some units. Obviously March Madness is going to be electric. It's going to be awesome. Also working in the back. I don't know if I haven't really told many people this, but on an app possibly. So I've kind of kept that on the down low. Possibly potentially adding sports betting and like trading cards. So Beast, I know I've been doing some graphics that kind of resemble that a little bit. So I've kind of been teasing it a little bit, but that's in the background in the early process, but excited to roll that out once we get going here. So again, Coda Capper Pace and at Coda Cappers is where you can find all the things.
Pace is the man for sure. That's awesome to hear. Captain, man, I know you're one of the busiest guys in the industry between the BEC reviews, all the stuff with Trainwreck Sports. So I want to give you a chance to kind of shout out everything you're up to these days. Plug away, buddy.
PG. If I was the busiest man, that would mean I'm behind you. However, go follow us at Trainwreck Sports. There is no O. We lost it in the lawsuit. So Trainwreck Spurts, but it's Trainwreck Sports. Go ahead and follow us. Every Saturday, dropping a new Bacon, Egg, and Captain breakfast sandwich review. Got some really, really big guests coming up soon. Heading down to New York City. It's going to be a time. But yeah, stay along, stay current with that. Follow our picks at Degenerate Danger Zone. I'm 16-3-1 in my last 20. March is captain. We've only just begun. It's February. We're getting to the big dance soon. But if you want to follow my personal, you can. It's Cody Official. The 0 is the O. So go ahead and follow along. But I just want to say thanks again for having me on the show, guys. Really, really big and blessed time on here. PG, Coda, Capper Beast, and my boy Pace. Appreciate you all having me on.
Yes, thank you guys so much for popping on here. It's been an awesome podcast. Can't wait for the big game. Little under an hour, which is a great run for us. Love it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with a recap episode someday after the Super Bowl. Beast and I will. Shout out to these guys again. Follow them all on Twitter. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace out, guys.